I live in Florida, the Sunshine State, out in the marshy area in a cabin off the beaten path, away from all the city life and hustle and bustle of it all. Though something strange has been happening around these parts. It's been getting colder. So much so that I had to wear 2 layers of clothes on my way to the store to pick myself up a light jacket. But it didn't stop there. Snow started to fall. At first I thought it was just a trick my eyes played on me, but this was real. The next day it was all gone, and it was warmer again, about 60 degrees. The man on the TV said it would be colder tomorrow, so I put my jacket on the hook and left it. The next morning everything was covered. I looked out my already frosted up window to see a thick layer of snow over everything. My, was it a sight to see. Florida had gotten a generous amount of snow. Work was off, schools was closed, and everyone was advised to stay warm. I tried to get outside to get to my truck, but I was snowed in. Well, that's okay though, I still have had food for the day. The weatherman expected things to be better tomorrow. The next morning the whole house was cold. It's an old log cabin, so insulation is almost non-existent. It just looks like everything's frozen outside. Nothing is moving. Throughout the day, it just got colder, and the sun never shone. It was just a gray, cloudy overcast. Eventually, my lights went out. The generator out back must have frozen up. Without it, I couldn't power my heater. But I had an old stove in the kitchen, and that took wood. But my stores of it were outside. I couldn't open the door as it was frozen shut, and even if it wasn't frozen, the snow was piled up so high I couldn't barely move it. I went to bed that night and lit a bunch of candles to keep the place warm and lit. When I woke up, all was quiet and still, and the air seemed frozen. I had on all my blankets and my jacket, 2 pairs of socks, and I was still freezing. I got desperate for warmth and broke down a wood chair to throw in the stove. With my second to last match, I lit the fire. I don't have no lighters, I don't smoke, and I only had 1 match left. I tried calling someone, but the phone lines were down. I was trapped. I could feel the icy air coming for me. I huddled by the fire as long as I could, feeding it when it got low. I knew the ice was coming for me. I saw it at the edge of the darkness that the fire could not illuminate. It shimmered in the dimly lit room as it crept towards me, consuming everything in its path. I fed the fire as long as I could before exhaustion got me. When I awoke, it was still nighttime and the fire was out. I rushed to get out the match and found it was a dud. It didn't start any fire. With my blanket on my back, my jacket and every item of clothing, I tried to stay warm, but my shakes kept coming. I was freezing. The police reported that inside the cabin out in the marsh, there was 1 body recovered, frozen solid next to a burning fire under a pile of blankets. Police and firefighters responded when they saw smoke on the horizon on one of the hottest days of the year.